Welcome one and all to the fourth round of Thursday Night Thunder. I'm Rick James, here to bring you uninterrupted green flag racing from the Greenwald, Kentucky Speedway. Aidan Norman with his first pole of the season on the inside of season opener winner Cody Pennell, ready to go racing. E-Dog's in the chat, Suicideways lurking, Tom Bama, Trama's in the chat. Let's see who wins round 4. Drivers, wait for the signal. Green flag is out. Let's go racing under the blue moon of Kentucky. Cody Pennell leads lap number 1. At the outset, he won round number 1 from the North Wilkesboro Speedway. Bama Trama has entered the giveaway for that Kevin Harvick diecast. Check it out on Rick James TV Twitter and on Rick James TV Instagram as well. The number 4 Mobile 1000 164 diecast is up for grabs. Last week, Bailey Shepard winning the Jimmy Johnson Neon Lights 164 diecast. Bailey ineligible to win tonight, but if you did not win last week and if you are not a driver in Thursday Night Thunder, you are eligible to win! Exclamation point. TNT Giveaway 4 is your code to get a chance to win this race. And with that, tell us who you're rooting for. Pop in that code, TNT Giveaway 4. Let us know who your favorite driver is in the chat. Pole sitter Aidan Norman, your new leader once again. Last time around, Noah Belleville, the fastest lap of the race. The rookie Belleville making his first Thursday Night Thunder appearance this season. He goes to the inside of one of 4 Kentucky drivers we have tonight. I apologize. One of those being Toby Estes in the 78. Aidan Norman just went purple, 32.76 seconds. He's got the fastest lap of the race. Cody Pennell to his inside off the 4th corner using the extremely wide 4 lanes of Kentucky, but he just can't quite pull off the move to the inside. Donald Ray now with the fastest lap. The Texan with 32.71 seconds up on the board. And the pride of Rockwall sitting in 4th, looking to overtake double TNT champion Tom Sears. Toby Estes in that mellow yellow machine, one of 4 drivers from the Bluegrass State. Love seeing that Kyle Petty styled Lumina week in and week out. Cody Riggs, another one of those drivers from Kentucky in what is quickly becoming a favorite paint scheme for him, that ski-sponsored car behind defending champion Thomas Andrews in that number 2 TNT machine. 3 of 4 Kentucky drivers, one Briley Wright, also from Greensburg, Kentucky, as is Cody Riggs and Toby Estes. And then the 4th and final driver from Greensburg, Kentucky, Mr. Ryan Pennell, sitting in 16th right now. I'm sorry, not from Greensburg as well. My apologies. 3 of from Greensburg. Ryan, however, is not. Ryan, the graduate of the University of Kentucky in exercise science, running in 15th right now. Ryan making the best of his evening so far. But at the front of this race, it's Cody Pennell. Cousin Cody sitting at the front. He's got a 3/4 of a second lead over Donald Ray, who's to the inside. But look at these cars now shuffling left and right down that back straight. Josh Garrison sits in 8th, while the rest of these drivers get a bit cozier to each other in those corners. Noah Belleville to the inside line. He's looking to tug on the champion's cape. Aidan Norman well to the high side, using that momentum, but Donald Ray taking advantage of the short route on the inside line. The Texan looks to overtake Norman for second. Ray to the inside, trying to hold off Sears. They're 3 wide, almost out of turn number 4, and here comes Dustin Painter. Look at this mess down the front straight. Sears wisely backs off. Toby Estes on the outside of Donald Ray as they watch Aidan Norman almost clip that turn 1 wall with his right rear quarter panel. The 7-8. Estes on the outside of Ray, still trying to use that momentum. Peanut Butter Estes makes a sticky slap against that wall, and the mellow yellow Chevrolet now struggling to keep the speed up, but Donald Ray follows suit, and the Texan slow, leaving some blue, red, and white stripes on the outside of turn number 3. He's overtaken by Josh Garrison, and Donald Ray drops down into the 8th position. Toby Estes on the outside of Dustin Painter, looking to make some headway after the 78 car had some misfortune with that outside wall. Let's ride in the cockpit with the North Carolinian as he takes us for a lap or 2 around Kentucky. Painter following in the wake of that 7-8. Further on back, another Kentucky driver battling with defending champion, and it's a couple of Kentucky Bluegrass Bandits side by side. Briley Wright in the 18 NOS Camry to the inside of Cody Riggs in that number 3 Ski Chevrolet. This the fight to be in that top 10. Wright on the inside, Riggs on the outside, so close to making contact into that first corner. Both drivers showing leniency. Further on back, Ryan Pinnell in that number 12 Dodge Charger, sitting ahead of Terry Gabbard in the unmarked Bush Machine. In South Carolina's Jason Alexander makes his way into the top 14 cars. The 56 Mopar joins his Charger teammate in the top 14, and defending champion Thomas Andrews sits ahead, while the Bluegrass Bandits look to overtake Central Florida's Richie Catania in the 2002 Pepsi 400 paint scheme that Jeff Gordon piloted. If memory serves, that was not a successful evening for the 4-time Winston Cup champion. Definitely one of the more famous Pepsi paint schemes. Toby Estes goes around a 1-car incident. One of the Bluegrass Bandits has had it off the back straight. Let's see what happened to Estes in that 7-8. Oh, and we seem to just be a little off here. Just a big crash for Estes, and next thing you know, so some intermittent internet connectivity for the 4-time Thursday Night Thunder winner, making his full-time appearance this season, and not a good start to his home race. Cody Pinnell also with a little bit of internet issues. Here comes Aidan Norman, 1 3/4 seconds behind the race leader, while he's got Thursday Night Thunder 2-time champion Tom Sears behind him. The 213 Simware.com Supra comes into this race leading the point standings by 1 marker over Cody Pinnell. North Carolinian Dustin Painter sits in that third spot. Thomas Andrews, 6 points outside the podium positions in fourth. Jeremy Brio, not a part of the starting lineup tonight, and he's going to take a big hit in points. He holds on to fifth by only 2 digits ahead of Jimmy Kerr. Kerr's running 14th, not ideal for him, but still more than enough points needed to overtake Aidan Norman to the front. Well, thought it was to the front. My apologies. Cody Pennell blinking again as Dylan Picklesmeyer is in the chat. He says TNT, baby. E-Dog also enters the giveaway. Exclamation point TNT giveaway 4 is what earns you that ticket to win that diecast. And there it is, exclamation point TNT giveaway 4. Pop that in the Twitch chat if you're watching on YouTube, and we'll draw our winner at the end of the race. Cody Pennell leading Aidan Norman by 1.8 seconds. He's put Toby Estes a second lap down. Aidan Norman barely holding on to that second position, and Dustin Painter watching in the distance, waiting for one of these drivers to slip up. Dylan Picklesmeyer enters the chat as well. Streamlabs with a little bit of overkill, but you get the point. Terry Gabbard overtaking Ryan Pennell in the 12. Is it internet issues for the Kentucky native, the graduate of UK? Motionless right now on the racetrack. He's being scored out of this race, but it looks like he's got his connectivity back up to scratch. There's Ryan Pennell in that 12, sitting in 12th for the moment. One other driver with some internet connectivity there. But so far, so good for the drivers in the top 3. Aidan Norman still holding on to Sears. This is the look to the 14 Supra. Sears finally gets to the inside, but his progress is halted by the speed Aidan Norman carries on the top side. Defending champion Thomas Andrews to the inside of Rockwall's Donald Ray. The number 5 G-Mac, Ricky Hendrick liveried Impala, sitting in 9th right now and headed into this 4th round. Donald Ray sits 12th in the points. He scored 1 victory last season, as did this man here, Thomas Andrews. Just on the cusp of the top 3, and he's looking to end this 4th round with possibly a boost to his points standings. The new kid, Noah Belleville, in that 4-1 GoDaddy machine, sits just ahead of Josh Garrison in the 213 Simware car. Belleville making his first appearance this season. He had a successful practice session, not having a bad race so far. The controller-based driver sitting in 5th where he started. We're only 24 laps into this one. TNT Track Facts predict that drivers will be able to go between 35 and 45 laps on one green flag pit run. But of course, any cautions that come out could spoil that mileage as we know it. Dustin Painter to the inside of Tom Sears. The North Carolinian wants a piece of the driver from Southampton, Massachusetts. He went winless last season in the Aqua Fresh Pontiac, but he's got a point to prove. The ever-reliable Dustin Painter trying to march into that top 3, 10 laps before the pit window opens. He's got just a quarter panel ahead of that 14, but will he make it stick? The answer is yes. Dustin Painter moves into 3rd. That's what 0.2 of a second looks like, but a closer battle would be Thomas Andrews on the inside of Joshua Garrison. Briley Wright, one of the hometown flavors this week, sitting in 8th. He wants to get around the 8-4 car, and these drivers are slowly reeling in. Noah Belleville in the 41. Belleville sits a half second ahead of defending champion Briley Wright. Now using all that momentum, trying to maximize the width of turn number 4. He sits in 9th right now. South Carolinian Jason Alexander looking to overtake Texan Donald Ray. Here's the battle for 9th. The Mopar Dodge following in the draft of that GMAC Chevrolet, while race leader Cody Pennell starts to put his hands on the round 4 victory unless anybody can pry it away from him. Donald Ray goes topside once again, and the Texan has had a bit of a downturn since the green flag flew. Qualified in 6th, down to the 10th position, but still plenty of race to go. He knows he can get the job done. Fans know he can get the job done, and the pride of Rockwall biding his time for the moment. Still in the top 10, 28 laps into this race. Flying by at a cool 170 miles an hour. Good hopes, Cody Pennell, rocking that Ford Thunderbird livery. Kind of a custom Texaco paint scheme. We all can appreciate that. 2.8 seconds, about to be 3 seconds before he crosses that line. Dustin Painter on the outside of Aidan Norman, who's taken the extreme inside line. The North Carolinian has been on the move. Last time around, he matched lap times with race leader Cody Pennell. Over the last 5 laps, you can see Pennell's been consistently quicker. This time on lap 29, Pennell quicker by less than 0.2 of a second. So while Pennell really may be turning the screw on the field, Dustin Painter says, I can fight for the lead too. He's gotten up to 2nd, but what will it take to keep him there, and will Tom Sears let him stay in 2nd? Does Dustin Painter have the grip left in those tires to keep himself in 2nd? We know the North Carolinian has a good defensive strategy. Jimmy Kerr on the outside of Cody Riggs. This for a spot in the top Dirty Dozen. Riggs to the inside line. He's got enough room to overtake Kerr, but you can see the momentum that Jimmy Kerr will carry on the top side. Through that first corner, Riggs with the shorter distance around, but just watch the 7.5 leap forward, carrying all that speed with those chrome rims on the outside of that number 3 Impala. Kerr holds on to 12th. Donald Ray has decided enough is enough on lap 32. The Texan is coming in for tires and fuel for that number 5 GMAC machine. Ray is in. He's the first driver to start these pit proceedings. Cody Pennell will put him 1 lap down as he crosses the start-finish line to complete lap 32 of 120. And on the cusp of putting Richie Catania a lap down in the 14th position. Dustin Painter still holding on to 2nd by 1/4 of a second. Noah Belleville pestering Josh Garrison for that 7th position. One thing to catch, quite another to pass. Painter not out of the grip of Tom Sears, the Massachusetts pilot. Rocking the 213simware.com Toyota Supra, still holding strong in 3rd. He comes into this race only 1 point, 1 solitary point ahead of Cody Pennell before the 1-week break. And then we come back July 28th at the Sonoma Raceway. Cody Riggs is in, and the first of the Bluegrass Bandits has decided he wants tires and fuel, so he's going to bring the Ski Chevrolet Impala SS for some service. 34 laps into this race. And again, those track facts predicting drivers will come in between laps 35 and 45, some shorter, some longer. And we'll see if that gets them all the way to the end. Drivers get 4 tire changes in this race. We'll see when race leader decides to come in. Cody Pennell slowing down. Is he on his way in? He is indeed. Cody Pennell coming down into the pits for tires and fuel. Does Tom Sears follow suit? He does not. And the Massachusetts pilot going around the outside of Dustin Painter is your new leader in this pit stop cycle. Defending champion Thomas Andrews has made it up into third. We know this driver has a knack and quite the reputation for extending his cycle longer than anybody else, but will it make a difference for him? Andrews stays in third, Sears in second as he's overtaken by Dustin Painter. These two playing leapfrog almost around Kentucky, trying to make the most of this pit stop window. Josh Garrison on his way out after getting some tires and some fuel. 8 cars left on the lead lap. Ohio's Terry Gabbard, the last of those 8, finds himself 19 seconds behind Ryan Pennell. There's race leader Dustin Painter. He's on his way in. Tom Sears will stay out. He will inherit the lead, and the North Carolinian comes down. Crosses the line at 53 miles an hour. Careful to tiptoe his way into the pits. 1.2 seconds the gap between the 2-time champion and the defending champion. Andrews winless so far this season, but we are not even 4 races into this 16-race adventure to mark season 5. The 18 of Briley Wright decides he will come in with a very scratched up right-hand side of his race car. Tom Sears is also coming down for tires and fuel, so Tom Andrews is your new leader under the cycle. He's putting Terry Gabbard a lap down, and that leaves 6 cars on the lead lap. Cody Pennell just on the outside of turn number 2, his last time around, 33.09 seconds. Thomas Andrews, 35.05. A 2-second difference between Thomas Andrews and Cody Pennell. There you see where the drivers are gapped relatively on the racing surface. Andrews still stays out on this 40th lap of competition. We've gone caution-free so far. South Carolina's Jason Alexander moves into second as Dustin Painter puts the pass on him. Painter right now being scored in 7th, 1 lap off the pace. Andrews is in. Leader is in. Thomas Andrews trying to make it into the pits. Under the speed there, 50 miles an hour on his way in. So your new leader is Salem, South Carolina's Jason Alexander. Noah Belleville moves into second. Ryan Pennell also decides that he's going to come down. He stretches his General Tires 41 laps. And there is your race leader, Jason Alexander. He'll get a bonus point for leading laps, but how long will the South Carolinian stay out? Noah Belleville, 3 seconds behind him. And the South Carolinian has had enough, so Noah Belleville in the 41 will go around the outside of Jason Jaco. Alexander and the rookie leading his first laps in his first Season 5 race. So now Cody Pennell coming out of the 4th corner. He'll move into the 2nd position. Some 11 seconds. I'm sorry, that was 11 seconds. As everything's leveling out, it looks like it's a 15-second gap between Noah Belleville and Cody Pennell. Last time around, Pennell putting in 32.93 seconds. Noah Belleville, 35.48, 2.5 seconds slower than Pennell, who was the first driver to come on in. Briley Wright just went green, his personal best, 32.84 seconds on the sheet. Dustin Painter pulling away from Tom Sears, 0.4 of a second, the gap between them. Josh Garrison, Toby Estes, nose to tail. They try to go to the inside of Donald Ray. This is for position. The 5 car sitting in 6th, now bumped down to 7th. Estes in the 7-8. He wants to get in the top 5 as well, but he's got to be careful. The 7-8 had an internet, a big blink, if you will, and it caused him to crash down the back straight in this first stint. Noah Belleville still staying out. Last time around, 35.80 seconds. Cody Pennell, 33.07. This time, Pennell, 33.09. Almost 3 seconds. The difference between them. Belleville going for the long run strategy. When will the 41 come down? Not this time. Aidan Norman sitting in 3rd. It's also his first full-time foray into Thursday Night Thunder. The 7.5 of Jimmy Kerr is 14th in the running order, 1 lap off the pace. Norman comes into this race 10th in the standings, just 1 point behind John Honeybrink and only 9 points behind the top 5. It is an extremely volatile points table only in this 4th round. We'll have to see which driver manages strategy the best to be consistent. Gen 4 cars make for Gen 4 rules in Thursday Night Thunder. There are no playoffs. You get what you get, and at the end of 16 races, the driver with the most points is your champion. And Kentucky fans will rejoice. There is progress from the 12 camp. 32.81 seconds. Ryan Pennell goes quickest, his personal best, 32.81. And the UK grad sitting in 12th right now, 5 seconds off the pace of Cody Riggs. Jason Alexander looking back to one of those Bluegrass Bandits. Let's ride along on the quarter panel of the 5.6 Mopar car. Alexander now has a 1.6 second advantage over Riggs, who gave a bit of a wiggle. Noah Belleville has finally decided he's going to come down pit road on lap 48, going well past the expected distance, and you saw that Belleville overshot the pit box, and that's not a good start for him, but still plenty of race to go. We're just inside the last 80 laps of racing. Riley Wright up 7 places from where he started. He's our hardest charger thus far. At the front, it is a 9.5 second gap between Cody Pennell and Aidan Norman. But of course, both of these drivers on not entirely different strategies. Cody Pennell with a big blink there. That's why he's being scored in 6th. Hopefully the internet has not gone out for the Georgian. He comes into this race extremely poised to take the points lead before the week's break. Pennell being scored in 10th. Is he out? The internet has given up on the 28 of Cody Pennell. He is out of this race, and these point standings are going to take a big tumble. Cody Pennell's internet fails in round number 4, and the Georgian will not get his 2nd victory of the season. New leader in the 6-2, rookie Aidan Norman at the front of the field, but only by 0.3 of a second. 2-time champion Tom Sears behind him in that 1-4, with Noah Belleville on the inside, who's the first car 1 lap down. Dustin Painter is 1.5 seconds off the mark of the top two. Noah Belleville, just a quarter of a second behind Jim Kerr the third. JK3 right now rounding out that top 10 in that 75 Impala. Here comes the 1-4 of Sears using drafting help from the 4-1 of Belleville. Fight for the lead as Sears goes for first. Well on the inside of the 6-2. It's going to cost him cornering speed, but will he hang on at a 2? He gets right in front of Norman, cuts off the run out of the corner using the 7-5 as a pick. Two-time champion Tom Sears, your new leader in Kentucky. There's Dustin Painter out of turn number 4. He's only 1 second off of these two. He's gaining slowly but surely in that Aqua Fresh Pontiac. Cody Pennell still being scored out of the race, as is cousin Ryan. Cousins Cody and Ryan Pennell both out of this race, and the internet has given up on them both, and it's a shame for Ryan Pennell coming into this race as one of the hometown favorites. The exercise science graduate from the University of Kentucky won't make the Wildcat faithful happy. He also is out of this race, joining cousin Cody Pennell. So Tom Sears is now your race leader. Aidan Norman 1.5 seconds off of that top spot. North Carolinian Dustin Painter making light work of the 62 Infantry Machine. And the Aqua Fresh Pontiac now sits in second. It's a Toyota Pontiac Dodge. Top 3 in Thursday Night Thunder. I absolutely love that. Tom Sears in this 213 Simware Toyota Supra. Dustin Painter in the Aqua Fresh Buckshot Jones Pontiac. And then Aidan Norman in his 6'2 Dodge Intrepid, adorning the top 3 in this 4th round of Thursday Night Thunder. How do you like that? There's Cody Pennell back on the racing surface. The internet kicks back on for the round 1 winner. He is 5 laps off the pace, but Pennell will still fight to the bitter end. Ryan Pennell also on the way out, and it looks like both of the Pennell drivers making it out of pit lane. Dylan Picklesmeyer will be thrilled. He said earlier that 12 Dodge scheme is beautiful, and it is. Pennell will come back out onto the racing surface 7 laps off the pace. Defending champion Thomas Andrews up to 4th right now. Josh Garrison, his latest overtake. Fans at home, if you just tuned in, don't forget, enter !TNT Giveaway 4 for your chance to win that Kevin Harvick $1,000 diecast. Pretty little gold thing that you can find on Rick James TV Twitter. Murder Hornet 1992 asks, who's doing the commentary? Well, that'd be Rick James of Rick James TV. Glad to have you here, Hornet. At the front, 2.2 seconds the gap. Tom Sears leading Dustin Painter. And the North Carolinian just has Aidan Norman in his rear view mirror. Further on back, Josh Garrison slipping away from the defending champion. Briley Wright 3.3 seconds behind the 213 Simware Chevrolet. And over the last 5 laps, Garrison has not been consistently faster than Wright. Briley trying to get just a bit closer now. Murder Hornet says, I came to support Riggs. I thought it was his stream. Well, I believe, and don't quote me on this, but I believe you can find Cody Riggs on Suicideways on Twitch, but I could be wrong. If anybody knows, go ahead and pop that in. Caution is out for the first time tonight, however. Richie Catania with an incredibly damaged left front wheel. Something has gone on with the 24 car, and Catania struggling to steer that thing. Can't make it down to pit road, and the Central Floridian hurt, wounded, limping down the front straight. And it looks like the moon will not shine in Catania's favor. Let's see what caused the Orlando driver to have a spill. And you can see Catania's already damaged at this point. This is earlier, Catania trying to pass Toby Estes. And there's a big shunt right there for Richie Catania. Not sure what in the world went on with that 2-4. Let's see if we can bet. There's the contact with Cody Pennell in the 28. The round 1 winner. Making hard contact with that 2-4. Have a look there. Pennell just comes up on the 2-4 of Richie Catania. Catania had a similar incident with 99 of Al Simkowski at Las Vegas, where he got pinched into the outside wall. See if we can roll this back just a bit. This happened on lap 57 with Cody Pennell making that contact. Pennell may have just come up, not realized that the 24 car was there. Let's roll this back and have a look from the blimp so we can see just where the lines went wrong. Have a close look. Cody Pennell on the inside in the black 2-8. Donald Ray not in harm's way, making it through in the 2-4 of Catania. Gets crumpled up, as does the 2-8 of Cody Pennell, who got one of his laps back. Cousin Cody on the march forward. Your race leader right now, Southampton, Mass. Tom Sears in that 1-4-2-1-3 Simware Supra. Let's have a talk with the two-time champion, see how his evening is going so far. Tom Sears, Rick James up top. You got me.
Yeah, what's going on?
The pace. What is this going to mean for your strategy, Tomo? Is this something that's going to take patience here, or are we going for the outright win at all costs?
We're still gonna, Cody had connection issues. Otherwise, he could be continuing to dominate this race. So that's what that is. As for the rest of the race, I mean, we're still gonna play the best strategy we can. We can't just assume that things will go all tip-top shape just because Cody isn't able to race for the win now. A lot of these guys are real fast, real smart, and we can't just send it in there full send, for sure.
We're past the halfway mark coming into this fourth round. With the week's break coming up, Tomo, is it difficult keeping your mind in a championship hunt, knowing you've got a week off and then you're going to come back to Sonoma?
You know what, Rick? I've been feeling real great mentally lately, so I shouldn't have a problem keeping my focus. Yeah.
We're about to go green soon here, Tomo. That brings up the most important question of the evening. What is your favorite hockey team?
I'm not a big hockey guy, so I just have to go with Bruins.
All right, well, let's do that.
Yeah.
We know. Well, I was going to say, we know you're a Red Sox fan and a Pats fan as well, so we can't switch to any other sports. The lights are off atop the pace car, Tomo. You know what to do, buddy. Keep the shiny side up. Hopefully we talk to you at the end.
See you later, buddy.
So the Massachusetts pilot will have control of the field when we go back to green, completing lap 63. You see lap down cars lining up on the inside. Ryan Pennell to the inside, Cody Pennell right behind him. Toby Estes, who is the first car one lap down, will be lining ahead of Terry Gabbard behind him. So those cars will be fighting for their lucky dog. And Aidan Norman, the last car on the lead lap, in the 11th position, will bring up the rear. E-Dog says, great race so far, great call as well. Fans, don't forget to put in the chat who you're rooting for. We know Murder Hornet's rooting for Cody Riggs. We know Bailey Shepard's also rooting for Cody Riggs. A lot of love for the Kentucky driver. The pace car peels off, and Tom Sears waits for that signal in his 213 Simware machine. He gets the jump. We're racing again from Kentucky. Terry Gabbard getting loose in that second corner, not the quickest of starts for the West Alexandria, Ohio driver. He sits in 13th right now. Jason Alexander is up 8 places from where he started. The Salem South Carolinians, our hardest charger so far at this point in time. Gorgeous looking 5.6 machine. There's Dustin Painter in the second position. He's got Toby Estes just behind him out of turn number 2. Let's run, and there goes Toby Estes, a big slide out of the second corner by himself. He holds on to her though, the mellow yellow Lumina. Slow into the third corner, he has to regain control of that hot rod. And there is the Bluegrass Bandits nose to tail, Toby Estes, Briley Wright, and Cody Riggs, as Cousin Cody goes fastest, 32.69 seconds, 5 laps off the mark. Cody Pennell goes purple in Kentucky. Great look at the suspension just work. The 18 does so successfully, and the 5 of Donald Ray in big trouble now. He comes down for tires, for fuel, and not a good look for the driver of the 5. Meanwhile, Tom Sears with sole control of the lead. He's got a 1-second gap back to Dustin Painter in second, and it's half a second to Thomas Andrews sitting in that third position. Josh Garrison just 2/10 behind him, and Noah Belleville, the rookie, rounding out that top 5. He's keeping it high and tight in that number 41. There's Ryan Pennell to the outside, fighting for those last few points that he can get. Thomas Andrews in a 3-wide battle here. Ryan Pennell to the outside. Josh Garrison wisely gives up the spot and allows the defending champion to have that inside line. Still more than 50 laps of racing to go from the Kentucky Speedway. And what a great race it's been thus far. There you see Andrews sitting in third. He's only 0.3 of a second behind this man, Dustin Painter. While you see Ryan Pennell top side trying to get some sort of position back. Noah Belleville also fighting in that 41 right behind the 84. The GoDaddy machine holding on strong, coming to 50 laps to go. And Dustin Painter now chasing down race leader Tom Sears. One and a half seconds, the gap between them. Ryan Pennell on the top side. Josh Garrison to the low side with Belleville behind him. Further on back, JK3. Jimmy Kerr the third, trying to take down Aidan Norman for the 9th position. These two cars, the last two on that lead lap. While Toby Estes only sits 1 second ahead of Terry Gabbard. He's trying to remain the first car 1 lap down. Incredible save for the driver of the mellow yellow car. Let's go on board and look at the hands of Toby Peanut Butter Estes. Cody Riggs sitting ahead of Jimmy Kerr. He's in 9th right now. Terry Gabbard in a 3-wide battle. Aidan Norman in the middle. Ryan Pennell top side. They get just a bit too close for comfort, but everybody comes out of the second corner surviving. Thomas Andrews making that move for the silver medal spot. The ex-Stamford, Connecticut driver recently making a move to New Jersey. So I guess the Jersey-based driver now sits still in 3rd, but putting the pressure on North Carolinian Dustin Painter, but it's going to take more than filling the rearview mirror of this driver to get him to shake. Painter looking for some clean air on the inside of cousin Cody Pennell. Pennell does the right thing. He moves top side, tries to maximize speed, gives the drivers on the lead lap the racing room. Cody Riggs is on the inside of Jimmy Kerr, trying to follow in Terry Gabbard's draft up out of turn number 4. The 10th placed Kentucky driver with 45 laps to get the best finish he can. Well, this driver starts to run away with this lead. 2 seconds is the gap at the front of the field. Tom Sears last pitting on lap 60. Most every driver coming in on lap 60 will see where they go with these tires. You can expect them to come in around lap 90. Cody Pennell has decided he's going to come in, and the Georgian possibly getting tires and fuel. He's had a scrape with the right side. He's probably going to get that car fixed. Still do laps to earn every point possible. He wants one of those TNT trophies at the end of the season. Lots of gifts, lots of trophies we're giving away. Shout out to CorvetteParts.net. The good folks over in Cleves, Ohio. Tom, TJ, and Shane agreeing to sponsor our Darlington race coming up September 1. That's Thursday Night Thunder from Darlington. We'll be giving away a special throwback pack of diecasts, and the winning driver gets a 124 throwback diecast as well. This driver here, Thomas Andrews, in the chrome TNT MGD machine. Half a second behind Dustin Painter, but just a half second behind Andrews is Josh Garrison in the 8-4. Aidan Norman following in the draft of the 5-6 Jason Alexander. Norman wants a piece of the top 5. Alexander still our hardest charger this race. He's up 9 places since the green flag flew. Dustin Painter in the Buckshot Jones machine, looking back to Thomas Andrews. Being smooth and steady is one of the keys to being successful at Kentucky. Relatively speaking, it is not the most banked track in the world, but it is very wide. And to make the most out of your cornering lines, you have got to keep those hands steady. And you can see Andrews is starting to creep up on the North Carolinian. Dustin Painter will be forced to play defense once again as they both hunt down Tom Sears at the front of this race. Aidan Norman 3/10 off of the top 5. Jimmy Kerr the 3rd. He sits in 8th right now, 1 second off the top 7. Of the 26 drivers that have entered Thursday Night Thunder this season, you can see that Kerr finds himself 6th in the point standings, 4 markers ahead of Cody Riggs, only 2 points behind Jeremy Brio, who's not in tonight's race. Brio will take a big tumble in the points as he's only 10 markers off the top 4. It's going to be a rough climb back to the front for the Pennsylvanian. But for now, Kerr doing his thing, up 8 places, as is Briley Wright, only 1 second ahead of Jimmy Kerr. One of these 4 Kentucky drivers making the appearance tonight at their home track. Terry Gabbard with a big slide out of turn number 2. He's chasing down Noah Belleville, this for the 11th position. And both of these drivers looking to be the second car on the lead lap, as it's this man here, Peanut Butter Estes, who is the first car 1 lap down. And Estes sitting in 10th, 1 spot behind his Kentucky teammate, Cody Riggs, but he is in prime position to get that lap back while Terry Gabbard and Noah Belleville find a bit more space between them. Let's have a look at Belleville getting around the 4 car of Gabbard. There's Gabbard with a big slide out of turn number 2. He just slid back even further. So Belleville marching towards Estes in 10th, while Thomas Andrews works on the outside of Dustin Painter. This for the second position, 10 laps away from the second round and what could be the final round of green flag pit stops. We've only had 1 caution tonight. Will the drivers stretch this second stint, or will they come in early, gambling on a late race caution? We've had 3 winners in 3 races. Will we be able to go 4 for 4? Only time is going to tell. There's Jason Alexander, right behind Josh Garrison. The 8-4 Chevy trying to hold on to that 4th position. Alexander's up 9 places from where he took off. He wants to make it 10, getting awfully close to Toby Estes in that 3rd corner, but both of these professionals giving each other the necessary racing room to keep it green on lap 85. Andrews finally clears Painter. The North Carolinian will look at the New Jersey pilot sail away. 3.7 seconds. The distance between 2 of the champions over the last 5 seasons. Thomas Andrews, of course, winning Season 4. Tom Sears, your Season 1 and Season 3 TNT champions. There's Aidan Norman in that 6-2, right behind that 5-6. You're seeing this 3-way fight for 4th. Josh Garrison in that 4th position. Jason Alexander in 5th. Aidan Norman in 6th. 3 wide briefly out of that 2nd corner. It looks like Garrison may have had a bit of a slip out of turn number 2. Here comes Noah Belleville, who's not on the same lap as these drivers, but from what it appears, much quicker than his rivals on track. Belleville working on Toby Estes to be that first car 1 lap down. He's into 10th for now. Belleville on his way out. Is it a possible speeding penalty for the South Carolinian? He's still motionless in the pits. You can see he's hitting that accelerator, trying to keep that car moving. Inside of the final 30 laps, we'll see where Alexander rejoins the field. Inside 2 seconds now, Thomas Andrews being overtaken by Noah Belleville on the outside. Andrews 1.8 seconds and counting. There's the gap. You can see Sears made a bit of a mistake on lap 89. He was 1 second slower than Thomas Andrews. Tom Sears still at the front, but it's getting shorter and shorter. The money stop is what's going to count. Briley Wright decides he's going to come in. The Greensburg native takes the NOS Camry down for one last splash and dash. Aidan Norman sitting in third. It's been an incredibly good run for the rookie so far, but he's got to hold on, and he's got one more pit stop to make. All of the top 5 and Toby Estes in 8th have yet to come down pit road. We'll see just where they end up when the checkered flag flies. Sears leading Thomas Andrews inside 1 second, however. Thomas Andrews has climbed right up to the back of Tom Sears, and these two are going to have at it right before the pit window opens for the final time. And there's Sears. No battle between them. Race leader is in. Tom Sears decides he's going to come down at 51 miles an hour. Did he speed? We'll have to keep our eyes on the 14 car. Brings it right up to 60. He blips the gas there and brings it up to 60 miles an hour. Sears must be cautious. All eyes now on Thomas Andrews to see when the race leader and defending champion will come down for tires and fuel. The Chrome MGD Chevrolet stays out for one more lap. He's got a 4-second gap back to Aidan Norman. Toby Estes has decided he's going to come into pit lane. Last time around on lap 94, Aidan Norman 0.3 slower than Thomas Andrews. Andrews still enjoying the advantage of speed against his rivals before this final pit stop. Where will this put him inside of the final 25 laps? Briley Wright out on the racing surface, as is Cody Riggs. Donald Ray also decides he's going to come back out to play. The Texan sits in 13th, 2 laps off the pace. Terry Gabbard and Jason Alexander, who are quickly speeding away, are ahead of him, but again, their tires are 5 laps more worn, and in the bitter end, that's going to make a world of difference. Thomas Andrews now drafting behind Kentucky's Ryan Pennell in that 1-2 Dodge Charger. All eyes on the New Jersey driver to see when he'll make that dip. And it won't be on lap 95. 25 circuits remain. Drivers, don't forget. Well, the drivers can't enter, no, but fans don't forget. Enter TNT TNT giveaway 4 for your chance to win a Kevin Harvick diecast. Looks like we may have just lost connectivity for a moment. I apologize for that. Aidan Norman in that second spot. There's Thomas Andrews. He's in. Andrews is in. Aidan Norman now following suit. Gives it a little bit of a slide. Comes across the line. 54 miles an hour. Tom Sears back out on the racing surface. 5.4 seconds behind Noah Belleville. Trying to chase down this young rookie here. Andrews is down. There goes Aidan Norman right behind him. When will these drivers come out? How much fuel are they putting in the cars? Only their third pit stop, and they should have one more set of tires. But look who goes to the front. Rookie Noah Belleville, 4 seconds ahead of Tom Sears. He last pitted on lap 76. His tires about 25 laps old. Toby Estes goes green, 32.73, his personal best of this 4th round. Peanut Butter Estes finds himself in 10th, the first car 1 lap down. If a caution comes out, Estes will get his lap back. And can you imagine? Estes, one of the quickest drivers we've seen in TNT, dashing to the front with less than 15 to go. So much could happen. This driver still must come down for tires and fuel. He's gambling on the long game now. Only a caution can save Noah Belleville. Tom Sears starting to swallow that pace over the last 5 laps. There you see. 1 second at a time is what Sears is taking out of that advantage. Commando Griff in the chat says, such a fun racetrack. I made my iRacing start here many years ago. It is a lovely, lovely racetrack, this Kentucky Speedway. Tom Sears in second by 2 seconds, starting to close him up. Although I will say, I did like it better when the walls were green. However, no matter. This is the legacy version for all you iRacing heads out there. So you might notice it's a little different from our real-world counterpart. But still, a great drive nonetheless. It's 2-0 to go and 1-9 at the line. Thomas Andrews goes green, 32.72 seconds, and the champ puts in his personal best. Aidan Norman in that 7th position. Did he succumb to a speeding penalty? Did it bite the rookie? He finds himself behind Briley Wright at the moment. Norman now trying to claw all those positions back. Here he is to the inside of Wright, now the outside of Wright. The 18 throws the block. Norman tries the crossover into turn number 1. Aidan Norman just went purple, 32.63 seconds. And the driver of the 6'2 Dodge Intrepid successfully moves into 6th, and he's got the fastest lap of the race. Tom Sears on the inside of Noah Belleville, this for the lead and making easy work of it. Nothing that the rookie Belleville could do to hold off the double champion, but now Sears has to hold on for 17 more laps, and look who's coming. Dustin Painter looking for redemption after going winless last season. Will he be our 4th winner in 4 races? Painter pitted 4 laps before Tom Sears. Sears does have a win this season. He, Cody Pennell, and Jeff Noe making his first start last week, getting the W at Richmond. Here comes Painter to the inside of Belleville. Evo wants a piece of that giveaway. Enter exclamation point TNT giveaway 4 for your chance to win that Kevin Harvick diecast. Exclamation point TNT giveaway 4, and Streamlabs will pair it just what we put in there. We'll announce the winner in the middle of our podium interviews. And there is Evolution. He's got his ticket in that drawing. Bailey Shepard last week winning the Jimmy Johnson diecast. Bailey ineligible to win this week. Thursday Night Thunder drivers, both past, present, and future, also ineligible to win the diecast. Commando Griff is in the diecast, or the diecast raffle, if you will. He puts in exclamation point TNT giveaway 4. He wants that golden Kevin Harvick diecast sent to him. 1.8 seconds the gap between Tom Sears and Dustin Painter. Over the last 5 laps, you can see Sears has been extending that gap to Painter, but will he hold it? Still plenty of racing to go. 14 laps left when Sears crosses the line. Commando Griff says, let's go. I never win anything, though. Well, maybe tonight's the night, Griff. You just never know. Josh Garrison now to the inside of Noah Belleville. This for the bronze medal position. There they go side by side, almost making contact into that first corner. But Belleville just doesn't have the tires to challenge. And there's Garrison walking away with that position. Jason Alexander and Donald Ray side by side. These two fighting hard for a spot in that top 11. Ray wants a piece out of the South Carolinian. The pride of Salem holds on to that 11th spot, but Donald Ray not one to give up that easily. Lucky number 13 laps to go, will be a dirty dozen left for Tom Sears. Next time he crosses the line, 2.4 seconds the gap between him and Dustin Painter, and it's going to be a windfall of points for both of these drivers. Tom Sears and Painter only separated by 14 points into this 4th round, and Cody Pennell there in 2nd. He's going to take a big tumble unless things change drastically in these final 12 laps. Pennell back into the pits. And fans at home, don't forget to go ad-free with Rick James TV. Use your Amazon Prime, combine it with Twitch, get a free subscription every single month to Rick James TV. Go to gaming.amazon.com to learn more. But hey, it's like a saving of like $5-6 a month. Why not? Garrison on the outside of defending champion Thomas Andrews. Andrews putting his number 2 MGD Chevy into a podium position with 10.5 laps to go. 1 second now behind Dustin Painter. Andrews pitted on lap 97. Painter pitted on lap 89. And the 8 laps of difference in their tire wear showing in the times. Last time around, Dustin Painter 0.5 of a second off the pace of Andrews. This time around, Painter on lap 110. 0.5 tenth slower than Andrews. Andrews is there, but how easily will the North Carolinian make it for the New Jersey driver? Tom Sears also has to hold on for another 9 laps. Briley Wright has decided he wants to come in with 10 circuits remaining. Andrews behind Painter. He's going to put the moves on him now, looking for that second spot with 9 at the line. Andrews moves his hot rod into second. He's 3.5 seconds off the pace of Tom Sears. He's going to have to make something up like 2 seconds a lap to be even close to the Massachusetts native. So it is Tom Sears' race to lose, and Thomas Andrews isn't out of the woods yet. Dustin Painter may have something left in the tank for the New Jersey driver. E-Dog says, happy I could tune into this one. It's been a good, clean race. It has indeed, just one caution to speak of in the last 122 laps. Otherwise, it's been pristine. Donald Ray, 1 second off the pace of Jason Alexander. Both of these drivers will fight for their spot in the top 10. Joshua Garrison, 1 second off of Dustin Painter. Will Garrison make that challenge for the podium? Does Painter have the tires left to hold on? Both Painter and Garrison pitting on lap 89. How much life is left in those general tires? They'll go about 30 laps. Terry Gabbard going up way too high in turn number 3. He's got to check up hard. Painter will get to the inside, but Josh Garrison will get a well-needed draft off the 4th corner. Garrison using the shortest line possible with 6 laps to go. He's 3/4 of a second off of Dustin Painter. Toby Estes on the outside, however. Estes running in 9th. Still the first car, 1 lap down, just praying that the yellow will fly inside the final 5 laps. Commando Griff says that is a good-looking number 4 car. Talking about Terry Gabbard in the unmarked Bush machine. There he goes, almost 3 wide with Noah Belleville. Richie Catania behind him in that gorgeous 2-4. Shout out to Richie for always bringing some awesome Jeff Gordon paint schemes. The 6'2 of Aidan Norman, he finds himself in 6th right now, right behind Noah Belleville, trying to push him, trying to press him. Will he get the 5th position? Here he goes to the inside of the rookie, 3 wide into turn 3. Who's going to give Terry Gabbard to the high side? Richie Catania behind him now. Norman has the advantage coming to the line. It will be 3 laps to go. Next time around, the rookie Norman working on the rookie Belleville. Both of these drivers in their first full-time Thursday Night Thunder iRacing season, looking to make the best of it in this 4th round. Tom Sears looking to make the best of his run. He still finds himself 3.3 seconds ahead with 4.5 miles remaining. Dustin Painter once again on the back foot. Josh Garrison with some advantage. He's now got the draft, but he's only got a handful of chances left to get around the Aqua Fresh Pontiac. Belleville on the outside of Catania, trying to follow Norman, but Aidan Norman starting to run away with this one. He's got a half-second advantage in the 5th position. Dustin Painter opening up his gap to 3/4 of a second over Josh Garrison in that 8-4. Less than 3 miles remain for this driver here, Tom Sears, the 2-time Thursday Night Thunder champion. Coming up second at North Wilkesboro, getting the win in round 2 at Las Vegas. Good points last week at Richmond gave him the points lead headed into this round. The white flag is out for Southampton, Massachusetts. Tom Sears, 1.5 more miles in round 4. Cody Riggs leaving room. Ryan Pennell will get around Briley Wright, who's in the pits, possibly with some damage. 1 more position for the Kentucky driver. Couple of more points for him. It'll be a good night despite the troubles. But it's a great night for this. Tom Sears in the 213 Simware.com Supra comes off turn 4, and the Blue Moon of Kentucky will keep on shining for him. Sears wins round 4 in Kentucky. Dustin Painter able to hold on to 3rd. Josh Garrison in 4th. Aidan Norman will come home in the 5th position. Clinical drive for this driver here. Started in 4th, ends up in 1st. Cody Riggs giving him the little Dale Earnhardt nudge of congratulations. And a well-deserved win. His 2nd victory of the season, and his points lead will be extended marvelously headed into this week's break. Fans at home, don't forget, you've got until the break to enter !TNT Giveaway 4 for your chance to win that Kevin Harvick diecast. We'll announce the winner during our podium interviews. And this driver here, Sears, will burn the house down, as is well deserved. Just gonna peg the needle until it blows up. Tomo with a great burnout and even some extracurricular celebrations here, fans. Don't go anywhere. Your winner at the Kentucky Speedway, Tom Sears. On the podium now with our top 3, starting with North Carolina's Dustin Painter. You gave the Aquafresh Pontiac another great run, another podium as well. And Kentucky seems like it's a good place for you, Dustin.
I don't know if it's good. It's good for probably about 10 laps to like lap 30, about 20 laps, and then it all falls apart. Gets too tight, hard to drive. But overall, I'll take a third. Was hoping to have a better car than that. Just could not figure out how to get the thing to not just almost want to blow a right front tire.
Well, you've got a week to think about it and then practice up for Sonoma in 2 weeks' time. You'll go into round 5 tied for second in the points with Cody Pennell.
Yeah, Cody had some bad luck tonight. The internet just was not good for anybody, or iRacing wasn't good for anybody. The server. Next week, I'll be hanging around in the back trying not to lose too many points, and probably Cody and Lurkin will be battling for the win up there. So just try to salvage something next week. Not a Sonoma fan, not a road course fan, but we'll do the best I can.
Congratulations on that third place finish. We'll see you in a couple of weeks.
All right, thanks, man.
Commando Griff has won our Diecast giveaway you saw there in the bottom right-hand corner. Congratulations on that, Griff. Reach out to me on Twitter at RickJamesTV, and we'll find the best way to send that 164 Kevin Harvick car your way. Commando Griff is now ineligible to win the Diecast giveaway 2 weeks from now, July 28th at Sonoma Raceway. But everybody else can still enter your code to win that diecast. Will be !TNT giveaway 5. That's TNT giveaway 5 in 2 weeks' time. Just like that. Let's move on to our second place finisher, defending champion Thomas Andrews. Champ, it did not look like a second place car tonight, but you managed to work those tires, and here you are sitting with a silver medal.
Yeah, I couldn't get the car to really hook up on the short run, but when the long run came in, the car really came in on the long run. Sorry, as we got through that first stint, I was able to make my way back up to about the top 5. Obviously, there were some lag out issues. Hated for guys like Cody and Ryan for lagging out. I know Toby had some issues too. Those are 3 really good guys. I know Jeremy couldn't make it. I don't know if it was a iRacing issue or if it was an issue with his internet, but hate to see that. But yeah, I mean, the car would come in on the long run. And just I didn't have enough there for Lurkin, that's for sure.
Now headed into this 5th round in 2 weeks' time, you're only going to be 5 points off the top 3 with an 18-point gap back to Jimmy Kerr in 5th. What do you think about Sonoma?
I think they should bulldoze it and build a warehouse or something. I'm going to be terrible there. I'll probably be running with Dustin in the back. But it'll be a start and park day for me. I'll just be doing race control. But we got 2 road courses on the schedule, so for you to be a champion, to be in the mix, you got to be good at these road courses. So we'll give it our best shot, and hopefully just try to keep the fenders on the car and see if we could sneak away with a decent finish there. But definitely not going to be competitive with these guys who are really, really fast on these road courses.
We'll see you in a couple of weeks, champ. For now, congratulations on second.
Thanks, Rick, and thanks for everything you do, bud.
Our race winner, driver of the 213simware.com Toyota Supra, with his second victory this season and a 21-point gap headed into the bye week, if you will. Sonoma in 2 weeks. Tom Sears, this is looking pretty good for the 14 camp.
Yeah, I mean, good start to the season. First, just want to thank you, Rick, for doing these streams for us. Always do just such an amazing job. Just really appreciate that. I want to give first a shout out to Cody. I'm pretty sure he'd win this race if his internet didn't fail him, and as well as Jeremy, he couldn't even get in the race. I think his internet wouldn't let him. So I want to shout those guys out. Tommy coming up through the field with his tire strategy, getting up to second. He had me sweating. I thought he was gonna keep on coming. So that was lucky. And Dustin Painter, of course, with his 30 strategy as usual. He's always in the back of your mind on these long green flag runs for sure. He's one of those tire savers. So for Sonoma, man, I'm gonna have to practice because David Houck is a road course runner, so he'll be out there competing for the win if he's racing that night. So we're gonna have to practice quite a bit. You never know. Sonoma, you could be going great, but you go off the track and you're in a tire barrier, you have to tow. And now you're in last, so we're just gonna have to pay attention and make sure we practice a lot there for that one. And I want to shout out 213 Simware for being on my car, selling some stuff for me. Hats, no, not hats, shirts, stickers. That's a pretty cool deal, and yeah.
Another win for our points leader. Congratulations, Tom Sears. We'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Thanks, man. See ya.
Fans, we'll see you also in a fortnight from iRacing's Sonoma Raceway. No Thursday Night Thunder next week, but we'll be back in 2 weeks for the 5th round of racing. We're going left and right in iRacing's wine country. We know you want to join us for that. Up until that next race, everybody at home, please stay safe. Do take care of each other, and we will see you all